Hey guys, how you going? This is BillyEatWorld, and today we're finally going to take a look at the brand new sniper rifles in BF1. And that's because, well, I know I was pretty excited to try these guns out, so I'm pretty sure you guys are probably keen to know how they work as well. So the big question is, what has changed since BF4, and are the sniper rifles better or worse now than they were in previous games? Well, that's what we're going to take a look at today, and hopefully by the end of this video you'll understand a bit more about what sniping is going to be like in BF1. But anyway, to kick off, you might have noticed that over the last few days I've been making a few videos comparing some of the other guns in BF1. And you might remember, if you checked out either of those videos, that I'm not a big fan of the way DICE seem to have been nerfing all the guns from what they used to be. So bearing that in mind, I was actually pretty surprised to see that DICE have actually decided to buff the sniper rifles in BF1 by a lot. And I think that sheds some light onto why the other guns aren't as good now, because I think DICE are really trying hard to make sniping a lot better in the new game. So how have they done this? Well, to begin with, the bolt actions now deal anywhere from 100 to 80 damage compared to 100 to 59 in BF4. And not just that, they now have also what's called a sweet spot mechanic, which is a specific range that you can get a guaranteed one-shot kill. Even the lever action 1895, which fires a lot faster, still deals a pretty decent 75 damage, which drops off to 35 at 32 meters. And so basically what that means is that compared to the previous games, you're going to be landing a lot more one-shot kills with the sniper rifles in BF1. Now, clearly the damage of the sniper rifles is a lot better than it was in BF4, but it doesn't stop there because they're also now a lot more accurate as well. And that's because although the base accuracy is still the same at 0, the moving accuracy has been improved by about 40% to around 1. Also, their muzzle velocity is now a lot better as well, with the Gewehr 98, for example, coming in at a massive 880 meters per second. And even the 1895, which currently has the worst muzzle velocity in the alpha, clocks in at a respectable 580 meters per second, which is still on the high end in BF4. As a trade-off though, the bullet drop stat has been nerfed to 12 meters per second squared, but don't worry, because this stat is only just part of the bullet drop equation. And that's because to work out the actual drop of the bullet, you also need to take into consideration the distance and the speed the bullet is traveling. To save you guys the trouble of working it out though, I actually punched in all the values into an Excel spreadsheet, which you can see on screen now. And as you can see, even with the change to the bullet drop stat, the higher velocity of the new guns in BF1 definitely more than makes up for it. Now, obviously stats aren't the only thing when it comes to comparing guns, and so I should point out that there are a few cons to the new snipers, like for example the fact that there isn't any zeroing in BF1 yet, and also that there probably won't be any sort of digital range finding gadgets to help you out. Also, the longest range scope we have in game at the moment is the scope on the G98MA, which is probably most similar to the 8x in BF4. So bearing this in mind, from what I can see, at least at the moment, it really doesn't seem like long range sniping is going to be anywhere near as easy as it was in previous games. With that being said though, at least on St. Quentin Scar, the ranges you're going to be sniping at don't seem to be that far anyway. And a lot of the time when I did sit back and try to get long range kills, I just ended up getting counter sniped by other guys doing the same thing. So in other words, getting into a concealed position closer to the objective seems to be the way DICE want people to be sniping in the new game. And the best thing about this is that they've actually made it even easier to stay undetected, because firing your gun doesn't show up on the minimap anymore. So bearing all of this in mind, well, all in all, I think you can see that the sniper rifles, at least in the closed alpha, are probably the best guns in the game. But the reason I word it like that is because, well, from what I'm hearing in the community, I think most people think they probably deserve a nerf. That's not just because they're really good, but because, like I've said in previous videos, the other guns are pretty much pea shooters now. And so I think for that reason, if the game does launch with the current weapon stats, there's going to be way too many people sitting back and camping with the bolt actions. So once again, I think the best solution would just be for DICE to try and take all the stats back as close as they can to what they were in BF4, because after all, there are still over 100,000 people playing that game on a daily basis, which tells you a lot about what people really want. But don't get me wrong though, I'm not trying to pour salt on DICE for trying new ideas. It's just that at some point they've got to realize when they're not working. And well, the more I dig deeper into these BF1 guns, the more I realize how they've messed it up. So hopefully they're smart and they fix it before the final game actually comes out. But anyway, guys, that just about wraps up this video. So let me know what you think of the sniper rifles in the comment section below. And as always, if you like what you see, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, check out the links in the description below if you want to see any more of my videos, or if you want to support my channel on Patreon. And until next time, see you later, and have a good one.